some of our buildings, properties. And that brings also a lot because it reduces the charges for the landlords. And the last point is that having taken those two large portfolios and to put them together allows you to go through some economy of scales, and those are going to be seen in lower management fees, in discussions we have with some of the service provider for the fund, also for the property management companies, where you can say, okay, we're going to give you a few more properties to manage, but then you have to reduce the price you are going to charge us for that, and also general contracts for insurances and everything. We were able to rediscuss that in another manner, and that's going to bring us also 250 to 400,000 Swiss francs in the next 3 years. So all that to show you that as we've taken this portfolio, it brings us a lot of opportunities, of new opportunities, to bring down the cost, to manage the properties in another way, and to get economies of scale. Refinancing I talked about, and that gives a very good visibility on what's going to happen in the not in the dividend, for example, or in the results of the portfolio overall over the next 3 years. So visibility is definitely a key word. Another thing is that this is a property we have in front of the lake of Neuchâtel, a nursing home, and again, it's a very high quality project, and that's I would say that is to show you that definitely that's one of the things that is very important for Bonhôte-Immobilier. It's definitely the quality of the properties, and we are going definitely to focus on very nice properties, good quality properties, and to manage them in a very professional and very good way. Thank you.
Jean-Paul, thank you very much for this explanation. Very interesting. So questions to the audience. Any questions?
Merci beaucoup. Andreas Schweizer, good morning. Thank you for this outline. We develop a thermal spa and hotel resort in the Ticino, in the north of Ticino. And the last, your presentation and the previous presentations, even if one speaks of Switzerland, the Ticino doesn't seem to figure on the statistic. And I just wonder, what are the expectations from you, Mr. Jeckelmann, or other members of the audience to that part of Switzerland, especially with the Alp Transit? There is another big hole as the Gotthard used to be. Wouldn't there be an opportunity in the Italian part?
Yeah, in fact, we decided at the start of the fund, we decided to definitely focus on the western side of Switzerland. So we will probably never buy any properties really east of Bern, I would say. But we still we follow what happens in the market in the whole Switzerland, because it gives you also a flavor of how markets developed, what are the hot spots, and what are the weak spots in the country. And I think the northern part of Ticino might be interesting, but it's a very small market because it's very difficult to find large properties for fund, for example. You have a lot of small houses, but you don't have large building blocks, you know, and it's difficult for the funds, and I don't think that there are lots of real estate funds that are invested in this area because you don't have the availability of properties.
Thank you very much, Jean-Paul. More questions? I would have another one with regard to the TREF portfolio. After, by starting integration, you sold part of the TREF portfolio. The question is now, when you look at your current portfolio, will there be more additional properties you plan to sell within the next 12 to 24 months just to reposition in the direction you want to? Or what are your plans in terms of selling additional properties?
Yeah. I would say that we definitely sold most of the properties we wanted to get rid of before the merger with the DREF. So I don't think there will be a lot of other disposal within the next 2 years. However, I must say, I must maybe just explain here that we have a very different fiscal treatment depending on where our properties are located. To give you an example, and that's a bit funny because you're probably going to laugh. For us, the best canton to invest in regarding fiscality is Neuchâtel, which is normally called a very expensive canton for the fiscality. And the canton which is the worst for us, just regarding the fiscal aspect, it's Geneva. The same property with the same yield in Neuchâtel and in Geneva, taking out all the expenses and the fiscal aspects, the property in Neuchâtel yields net 1% more than the same property in Geneva. So we might, if we have some nice opportunities in Neuchâtel, and we are in the market because we are located in Neuchâtel, if we have some nice opportunities in Neuchâtel, we might sell 1 or 2 maybe properties in Geneva, where the market is very hot and where probably the prices you can sell the properties at are extremely attractive and could result in very, very nice gains. Yeah.
One last question. I think it's page 8 where we see where all the properties are located. And I have in mind the Wüsten Partner situation where the most developments compared to the existing properties are. And it's exactly in the region of der Moch, also the south, when you enter in the Canton Wallis, and also the area between Lake Geneva and Lake Neuenburg are very active in terms of new developments. And the question is, what's up with absorption? And on the opposite, where would you say is the most attractive area to add on new flats in the market, just to not be in a situation that you will have an oversupply in a specific market? What are the most attractive areas you think?
Okay. The thing is that it's for sure there is a lack of properties, or there is a lack of apartments available in all this area here. Until that's definitely an area where you don't have enough properties, but prices are very, very attractive, expensive, and there are other areas that are becoming quite interesting in terms of development. For example, one major economic development area that has been decided by the Canton Vaud is this area. where you have the new Nespresso, you have new companies coming, and this was, you might remember about the Amgen story that was going to go to Galmitz, but if it weren't to go to Galmitz, the other area was definitely this one again, because this has been decided to be an important economic development area in the canton of Vaud, for example. So this area might be attractive, but it's very difficult to find the properties because, again, you have much more land, and if you have the availability of land, you definitely build smaller houses, and you don't have necessarily the properties we would like to buy with 20 flats and or 25 apartments. You have much smaller properties, so it's much more difficult to buy. Another thing which is interesting, here along the lake of Neuchâtel, it's an area that looks like along the lake Léman here. That means in front of you, you have the lake, and behind you, you have the mountains. So the availability of land in that area is very, very, very limited. There is no more land to be built. And that gives a market that is going to be really supported by the fact that there is no land available to build new projects, or nearly no land available to build new projects.
Jean-Paul?